Hello and welcome to Nug and Cymek review DC Comics, the new 52, where every week Nug and I review every single one of the new DC titles. I'm Andrew Cymek.
And I'm Nug, and because the Boxing Day sale is going on all week, I should call it a Boxing Week sale, there's tons of deals going on at the Snail, and because they got their comics in at noon today, we're upstairs in the tiny apartment above the Silver Snail because there's too many people downstairs.
So I want to apologize to you guys for this horrible backdrop, and we're pretty much in the kitchen area.
I can fix it.
Snail. There's a little lower.
A little lower? There you go.
I don't know if that really.
It's something, Andrew.
At all.
Director and you is coming out. The set deck and me made this happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's just shoot it.
All right.
Keep going.
We're going to kick things off. Green Lantern, New Guardians, a book that, admittedly, we have not enjoyed.
No, I mean, you've heard us say that we're kind of sick of the whole Kyle Rayner is the chosen one and Kyle Rayner is the special one. We do get a bit of that in this issue as well, but this issue is the best of the run.
It's pretty good.
Is it because Larfleeze is really, the central focus on this issue?
I don't know if it's because Larfleeze is the central focus as much as it is, it's not just action for the sake of action and no one knows what's happening. A lot of stuff gets explained and a lot of other things get set up in this issue, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the action in this issue actually has repercussions. And
Absolutely.
And it's not just broad strokes. The action is very particular. We get Blue Lanterns versus Yellow Lanterns and the specificities of their rings. Whereas the previous issues was just like, blah. It's a mash of color.
It's a rainbow fight.
It's a rainbow fight, and I'm not big on those.
No, but finding a way for them all to work together against a common threat is what we've been hoping for since this book started.
And we are finally, we're not told exactly what that threat is, but we are introduced to the fact that there is a threat.
And there is a word used at the end of this setup. I'm not going to go big spoiler on it, but there's a word used to describe the name of this thing that they're fighting.
Yeah.
That was used a lot in the 52 series. That excites me.
Well, I love 52.
I did too, but there's a word they used that I'm like, that word, the last time I heard that word was in the old weekly 52 series.
Yeah. I mean, so this is definitely a step up. I really did like this book.
Me too.
But unlike Red Lanterns, which I thought that, reading the entire fulfillment of the arc, it actually made the other issues better, I still find that those previous issues of New Guardians...
You could just start with this one and be totally fine.
You'll be fine.
Up next, Legion, Secret Origin, a book that I've wondered why was necessary, because I know the origin, I'm a Legion nerd, and I get it. But as I've been reading the book, for me, the Legion has always been the big three, Lightning Lad, Cosmic Boy, and Saturn Girl. But I like that they're slowly including all of these other heroes in the origin of the Legion. Now, he got Great Darkness Saga for Christmas from me, and you've been enjoying that.
I've been enjoying that, and I'm actually finding that going back and reading the previous Legion incarnations and getting a little bit of information about who the characters are before going into these books, I'm actually enjoying these books a lot more now.
And this book is really great this month, and working towards an origin that includes everybody, it was pretty great.
And a common thread that you're going to find in this review show is that a lot of the books are getting better. Even the books we started out where we didn't like them, they are all showing improvement. Almost all of them.
Which is why you got to give the first arc a shot.
That's right.
Up next, Teen Titans. Look, here's the thing about the comic books that I've always enjoyed. What's on the cover isn't necessarily what happens inside.
Right.
Except in this case. Superboy and Wonder Girl, don't call her Wonder Girl, they really kick each other's asses. And it's kind of like flirting?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I love about Teen Titans is Lobdell's ability to create specific voices for these characters. I mentioned it in previous review shows, and it's the same here. We get a bunch of teens with their different identities and different personalities clashing and conflicting. And I mean, I gotta say, I do love Lobdell's Kid Flash so much.
Kid Flash is so cool.
And they've got some great stuff with him and Red Robin. I really like this book. Lobdell once again brings the funny.
I laughed
to
out
the
loud
book.
reading this comic many times.
And yeah, there's a drag down bare knuckle fight between Wonder, don't call her Wonder Girl, and Superboy, and it's a lot of fun.
It is a real fun book, and I know Lobdell's been taking a lot of heat on the internet because apparently Scott Lobdell has a common theme going on in his comics where he has turned people, black characters, into monsters. We're looking at the character of Skitter in this. We're looking at the character of Crux in Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Right.
2 characters in 52 books with, I believe, 417 characters throughout these books. And Scott Lobdell is being hated on for turning 2 black characters into monsters. I don't know, my math isn't that good, but two out of
definitely is a
417.
conspiracy.
Two is
Two is not one.
You're right. 2 is more than 1. Nailed it. It's a total conspiracy. My math isn't that good, but I'm pretty sure that's over 50% of all the characters.
Just enjoy the books. Okay?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, if I could force enjoyment on you, can I actually do
no,
that?
you can't.
No.
Although the internet would say otherwise. From what I've learned about the internet is everybody hates something. They'll never give up. If you don't like the thing I like, you're stupid and wrong. If you like the thing I like, you and I can be friends. But if we have a different opinion on something, we have to be enemies because that's what the internet wants us to do.
We actually disagree on some books as well. What happens then?
Then you're stupid and wrong. All right, up next, BlackHawks. Every month I say this, every time we go into these reviews, it never jumps at me. BlackHawks isn't like,
but this week,
this week is so good.
And when you saw it added to our pile, you were like, all right, BlackHawks.
This week I did go, hey, all right, BlackHawks. And guess what? It's phenomenal.
This is a great book. Energetic. I love the technology mixed with the humanity of BlackHawks. The one thing I really like about BlackHawks is generally it's not a super book.
Oh.
It's a bunch of humans, and some of them, have developed certain powers.
Well, accidentally. It's been like part of in field training they were on a mission and got infected.
I think that's what I really like about it, is that it's humans dealing with a crazy situation and kind of dealing with this technology that is just way above
it's so
what
great.
we have.
It's so great, and it's so fun to see right off the bat that one girl who's been infected with the circuit nanobots, where she's like, "Oh, I got a heads-up display in my eyes right now."
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
And one of the things I had mentioned, and it's a common theme in all of the new 52 books, which I really appreciate. It's that they're kind of not letting their imaginations be restricted.
No,
like the technology that they're coming up with, they're just putting it out there, and it's almost like when science fiction was fresh, and there was those concepts that we hadn't heard of, and there's a lot of stuff in this new 52 that they're doing. And BlackHawks is one of those books that I'm really enjoying because of that.
BlackHawks is I almost find it a throwback to old school science fiction, where old school science fiction used to be, here's something crazy, let's deal with it. Now it seems to be technology is bad and we all have to fight it.
Right.
But in this case, it's people dealing with the technology that isn't necessarily bad, it's people using it for bad purposes.
And
so these guys deal with it in the manner that they can.
And at the same time, they're also like, pretty cool.
Yeah,
neat. So I think that this issue definitely reiterates the fact that BlackHawks is now a pickup on our list.
Absolutely a pickup. Up next, iVampire with an appearance by John Constantine, the old Hellblazer, right here in iVampire. We always get a little scared when a hero's going to pop by when an issue, because is it just him walking in a panel going, "Sup?" and taking off, or is it something that actually has to do with the story? And Constantine doesn't just show up and say, "What's up?"
No, I mean, you read it first, and I asked you, I was like, is he just in it for a page? And you said no. You know what? If you are a John Constantine fan, you got to pick this book up.
For sure.
And this is, once again, a great book. I'm no longer surprised at the quality of iVampire. This issue, I'm a huge John Constantine fan, and he is written so well in this book. I would say I like Justice League Dark, but this is John Constantine.
This book, it's no longer going to be that, oh, I can't believe how good it is. When we think about how we were like dreading reading a vampire book. Yeah. This isn't Twilight. This isn't True Blood.
No.
What I'm looking at it now is almost like we're behind the scenes. We've been embedded in a war that's coming that humanity doesn't know about.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm enjoying about the book. It's like we know what's coming because we've seen the first few issues. And this book is it says straight up to Constantine, there's some bad shit coming.
Yeah. And you know what? I will say this as well in terms of the character of Andrew Bennett in this book.
He's so great.
He's struggling with the fact that he seems to be the only vampire with some sense of humanity left. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but this issue is great. If you have not picked up iVampire, do it.
He'll kill you.
I'll force pleasure on you.
Up next, Voodoo. Here we go. Issue 4 of Voodoo. Remember the first issue where she was a stripper hiding, and then people were like,
I remember that issue fondly.
Yeah.
She infiltrates an organization that has information, so it's not necessarily the bad guys, but they've been teasing us with this fact that she's kind of a covert spy for someone else who kind of worried, and it comes to a little bit of fruition here, worried about the influx of superheroes that are appearing on Earth. Voodoo, like iVampire, started out to be a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting much of it, but it continues to deliver. I'm enjoying the run. I think it's a fun, fast, and also a smart take on a covert spy agency. We've seen these characters in James Bond movies where what is the best way to get a man to give up information? Send a hot girl to do it. And that's the form she chooses. And there's a great scene where she's trying to get the information from a computer programmer, and she just, has his way with him.
Yeah.
Of course.
But here's the other part of it I like. At the end, there's like a little peek about what I believe is one of the Daemonites from the other books. So we know that Voodoo, have they referred to her as a hybrid in this yet, in any of these? The word hybrid seems to pop out at me. So I'm not sure. I think Voodoo's kind of on our side versus the Daemonites, but I don't think anybody knows that yet.
Right.
They just know she's a shape-shifting alien, and watch out! So the Daemonites pop up here, look like they're popping up in Grifter, look like Stormwatch, and from something we saw on the internet this week, looks like they're going to pop up in Superman.
Hooray!
Sort of, whatever. But that's the only book that I can see the Daemonites helping.
Yeah, I mean, again, Voodoo for us.
It's a great book.
It's a great book. It continues the B-movie feel. Great book. Pick it up.
Up next, Justice League Dark. One of the many books that features Deadman. Also, Dove makes an appearance this week.
Yeah.
As we read more and more and more of Justice League Dark, I love this book.
Very good.
As we read more and more of it, though, where it looks like Madame Xanadu is putting the team together to help the world, it kind of, this week, looks like she's putting the team together to fix some mistakes that she made.
Which is an interesting take on why you put a team together. Justice League Dark continues the story, and it's the same feel. I don't find it stands out as the best issue of the run. It's just a continued...
It's great, though.
It is very good. And I do say this. I find that when the book is focusing on characters like Zatanna and John Constantine, it shines more than when it's...
focused on, say, Shade... Mind Warp shows up and then it's gone. But the more I read this book, the more I'm very interested in this Enchantress character, because I know she can be good or bad depending. But I think once they get her put back together, I have a feeling she's going to be part of the team.
Well, we'll see. I mean, one of the ways that this book is actually constructed, it's almost like there's a lot of different things happening, and you're trying to piece the puzzle together at the same time as the heroes are trying to be pieced together.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting. I wouldn't say it's a traditional book in that sense. Where
no, it's not real linear.
No.
I mean, it is. The story is linear, but it's not like it's told in flashbacks and stuff. But at the same time, the reader is finding out things along with all of the heroes. It's not like one person knows everything. And even Madame Xanadu is saying she doesn't necessarily know what's going to happen, and the future isn't set in stone.
Right.
But she needs to fix the mistakes.
Well,
that she made.
I am really looking forward to a huge climax with
Oh,
Justice
yes.
League Dark, and I really hope it delivers.
Up next, the Savage Hawkman. Here's the thing about this. I like Hawkman as convoluted and confusing as he used to be.
Yeah.
This doesn't help. I miss him. I miss those stories of him working in the museum. And I guess he still does. But I miss him not having this crazy armor growing out of him. On the other hand, this is the best Hawkman book of the 4 that have been out. It's still not great. It's still not a pickup. And if you're like me and you're sick of certain themes in comic books and science fiction, boy oh boy is this last page going to piss you off. Still not good. Right up there with Grifter and Hawk and Dove for me. What do you think, bud?
I hate to admit, but it is the best
It is the best of the Hawkman books.
It's still not a great book.
But you know why? You know why? Because they drop hints of what's to come. They use Qatar Hall, his name from Thanagar. They actually say Thanagar in this book. It's not just some mishmash of new stuff that we have no idea. Now there are things being planted.
And I think that's why this issue stood out for the two of us as being a better book, because they were playing on our heartstrings of the old Hawkman.
3 issues have been out and people went, but now they're putting some stuff back in.
Right.
It looks like they panicked.
They mentioned Thanagarian, the nth metal, and all of a sudden they're doing these terms that we all know and love, and it's kind of like, well, how much of that's going to come out? That's what we want. Give the fans what they want. We want all these books to be great and successful.
You're still trying to pull off a grown-up Blue Beetle with watercolor paint, and I hate that the Hawkman armor comes out of his skin. I hate it.
Savage.
Savage? I think you're mispronouncing boring. Up next, The Flash. Solidly a good book every month.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting about this particular book is when we last left Barry, he was thinking his way through a fight that hadn't happened yet and got shot in the head.
Yeah.
90% of this book doesn't have the Flash in it. And you know what? It's still really, really good.
Yeah, this book really focuses on Manuel and mob rule and his origin and how he came to be. I'm reading it and I'm like, the Flash isn't in this book.
No.
Until the last little bit.
They talk about Barry in the book a lot.
do.
Barry's in the book a lot, but it's a lot of flashbacks.
So, don't be afraid of picking up this book based on it, because it's still really good and it's really great for the overall story. And then as soon as we pick up where we left off with Barry and the Flash, I want to spoil it for you, but I won't. He thinks something that is just... It's funny and brilliant and just a different way of thinking about the Flash's power and the speed at which his thoughts actually happen. That's actually looking at it as a detriment, and it's really, really great.
Well, and not only that, but all the things that happened in the first couple issues where Barry saved an airplane by vibrating it through a bridge. It shows the whole city going, okay, Flash just put a plane through this bridge. We're not sure how he did that, but we really don't think anybody should drive across this bridge anytime soon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the best Flash since I think Jeff Johns' run with Walling.
It's so good. It's so fun to read, and it's fun to watch Barry deal with this new mental speed. It's so cool.
Great book.
Excellent book. Up next, Firestorm. A character I love very, very much, and have been I've enjoyed the books, but I've just wanted a little more. I've wanted it to be a little better every time. Here we get Pozar, the Russian Firestorm, a great old Firestorm character. He actually deals with a newly created Firestorm that gets created in the first couple pages. Pozar's kind of a badass, which I love.
You know what, Nug? Again, I will say I didn't hate the first 3 issues,
right?
But I strongly disliked them. Now, this issue, again, is the best of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some missteps in terms of characterization and voices.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Jason will say something that I said, would a teenager really use those words?
Yep.
Having said that, I think the threat of what a firestorm means in the global community is starting to be realized, and finally I'm interested. It only took you 4 issues, but I'm finally interested in Firestorm.
And the best news of all is that the black in this book is black. Like, it is not a gray, shaded, doesn't look like it's not finished, doesn't look like it's not printed properly. All the colors look great, and the book looks great to the point where you thought they had a new artist.
I actually did, yeah.
But it's the same team on board for now, and then we're getting a change later on. But this issue is really great.
Really great. Still not a pickup for me.
Understood.
But it's moving in the right direction.
Moving in a very good direction. Up next, Aquaman. Oh boy. Aquaman ends with a beautiful Jeff Johns panel that I love. That one page with the panels on it that sets up the next year of Aquaman.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the arc for Aquaman.
Right.
Dealing with the trench, in the water, and a great ending that sets up so much for Aquaman.
Yeah.
A life that Aquaman has above water, a life dealing with the trench. He's with Mara. Spoilers, guys. Aquaman gets a dog. Why is that funny? I don't know. But he deals with the threat, and he doesn't want to deal with the threat. He makes the trench a reflection of himself and of humanity.
Yeah.
And that he humanizes these villains who aren't necessarily villains. They're just trying to survive.
I loved this book. Having said that, I finished it going, that's it? That's the arc? And you may hate me for this.
No.
But I wanted more.
I don't think we're done seeing the trench.
I hope not.
We can't be.
I mean, I love the tease for what's to come.
No, but there's no way. Like, the stuff he discovered about the trench when he was down there, the what's written on their walls, and like all that stuff, and what was there when they all of that stuff. Yeah. It's clear they're coming back.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't just go and we're gonna put a lid on that jar and you're pretty good.
Yeah.
What he did in a sense was take bees. He went underwater and found bees, and then he went shake the bees, lid, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's no way we're not gonna see those guys again.
I understand. It's just I'm used to Jeff Johns. The battles in Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night, and they were just so epic, and you're kind of you're expecting when Aquaman goes down there to actually, I don't know, stretch out. And I'm not saying stretch it out in terms of there's not content there. I just felt that I want to know more now. And we're gonna go back. I get it, but I want to know more now.
But there was so many unanswered questions of stuff that he found down there,
right.
And this whole first 4 issues have been tidbits of. Teases of what's to come. And I think that jar is getting angrier and angrier. I think those bees are buzzing down there.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be part of the next thing, which is going to be great.
And having said that, I'm not saying Aquaman is bad. It's just I just wanted more.
Well, you know what? You're stupid and you're wrong. Yeah, feel that shame. Next. Dark Knight. My least favorite of the Bat books.
My least favorite of the Bat books.
You know what? You want to make a comic book feel like a video game, this is it. This is just like Arkham City. Oh, look what's on the back, Arkham City. It's just like every issue we're moving on and seeing the next villain in the next level, and it just makes me care less and less.
I think you're actually bringing Arkham City down by comparing it with this book, because Arkham City, the story in Arkham City was a great game, great story. Dark Knight is just like a bad video game, I would say, where you're dealing with a new character every week. You're introing something. I don't necessarily feel like the voices of the characters ring true with the rest of the books, even though this issue makes reference to what's going on in the Detective Comics, what's going on in Batman. I'm just not feeling this whole arc, and I like his art. I really do.
I think the art's not the problem. The only problem I had with the art was when Wonder Woman showed up and looked like a cherub doll.
She looked a little young.
Here's my problem with the book. Everyone in the book, and granted I don't know Batman stuff that well,
right.
But now that I've read these other Batman books, every single person that shows up in this book, Alfred, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, all the villains, none of them are acting like they should be. Not a single person that has showed up in Dark Knight talks or acts the way those characters should. This is why there's too many bad books. This is the perfect example as to why there are too many bad books. If you can't get it together with the rest of the people working on the bad books to keep some sort of coherence among them, why is there one extra Bat book? If this one disappeared, would not be upset.
And as a Bat fan, I am very sad to say that I completely agree with you.
Oh, good, we're friends again. Up next, Superman.
Yes.
Superman. Still don't care. Still don't care.
I don't like this incarnation of Superman.
Oh, you don't?
No.
This has not been documented ever.
This may be news to you, but
What?
this is not doing it for me. Having said that, you did mention that they are hinting at something that... No, I mean, I think you were right on the money there.
I don't know a lot about Superman. I mean, other than what's in the movies. And I might have gotten back on board when they killed him and had the 4 new... But that's not continuity anymore. But this screams of building the fortress and the Eradicator and everything in the fortress. There's so much stuff in the fortress that is being reflected here.
Yeah.
And we use the word eradicate so much, and there's technology and that is doing things, and it just reminds me of all the technology and everything that was in the fortress.
Yeah. So, I mean, they are hinting at a lot of things that I think will come to fruition in the next issue for sure. I mean, I hope so. Having said that, I still find that my favorite character in this Superman book is Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She seems to be the most confident. She knows what's going on. Is it wrong of me when we have these characters threatening Superman with eradication that I'm like, yes.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Part of me wonders if the terrible reception to Superman
Right.
Will be rebooted away. Like, I wonder if at some point they go, oh, we're back to normal.
Like maybe there was a dimensional shift that kind of forced Superman to act this way, and then the real Superman...
I want to know if 52, which they say is here to stay, but I'm starting to think that the 52 is giving them a chance to try some new stuff, and then after a year or two, snap it all back into place, but keep the stuff that worked.
We'll see. I mean, here's the thing. I've given every one of these comics a fair shot. I really liked Superman #1. I thought... But then all of a sudden you start, teasing these other pieces of the character, and you're like, what? He's like Peter Parker?
Well,
he sounds like Peter Parker.
The part that gets me in this book, my immediate reaction was, there's a character that, puts his arm around Superman and goes, I'm so sorry about the way these people are treating you. We don't want another repeat of what happened 5 years ago. And I know that what happened 5 years ago is happening in Action Comics. And all that made me do was, well, I guess I'll go read Action Comics. I can't wait to read Action Comics to find out about that, because this is boring. I don't care. You can say that he's fighting a fire monster and a freezing monster and a lizard monster or whatever. They're all part of the same thing. But who cares? This isn't Superman. He tried to kill one of them in a previous issue and said, forgive me. And they definitely suggest, they're like, wait, were you trying to kill that girl? And Superman goes, but he doesn't say no.
Yeah.
Superman, from what I understand, if you know anybody who knows Superman, you let me know if this is true, doesn't kill people.
Here's the thing. He doesn't kill people, but also... he knows what he stands for. And I think that's the thing.
Superman does.
I don't think this Superman even knows what he stands for yet. And if he does, it's not being shown to us in this comic.
He stands for one thing for sure. No underpants.
No underpants.
Last book of the week. Oh boy. All-Star Western. I love this book. I love everything about this book.
Yeah.
I love... the characters, and last month when it looked like Hex and Arkham were not going to be pals anymore, thrown back together, man.
Yeah.
The best buddy cop story I've read in a long time.
You know what? It works so well.
It does.
Why throw it away?
No, never
I
throw
know
it
that
away.
Jonah Hex is a loner a lot of the time, but this team up works so well.
It's so
This is
fun.
the odd couple. And this feels so much like those great westerns of of yesteryear.
Yeah.
I mean, you were mentioning that there's a character in here, and it's just like, it's written, the voices are so well done that you know exactly who these characters are. Jonah Hex is just one tough SOB in this. He does some pretty dark and disturbing things.
It's, you know what?
But it's great.
And that it's all happening in Gotham. If you're not on board with All-Star Western, don't be, freaked out by the fact that it's a Western. It's happening in Gotham in the Western period, and it's phenomenal. The new backup.
The Barbary Ghost.
Barbary Ghost. What a great character.
Yeah. You're going to have Jonah Hex meet these characters, or even not, but you know that they exist.
They exist in this world, and what I really like about the Barbary Ghost is that it takes place in San Fran. When you read Westerns, you always think about that time period as, it's a little town called Hammerhead in the middle of the desert somewhere, and there's a train. We got to fight the people with the train coming through. But there's a whole other part of that world that is out there and existing. Like everybody in a small town, well, I'm going to go to the big city. Well, stuff happens in the big city. Gotham, San Fran. This might be one of the first times San Francisco shows up in the DC universe too. And it's just such a fun read and a different side of stuff that happens in Westerns.
You know how we feel about All-Star Western. I think the voices are actually the best in this issue. Like, it's getting really, really great. This is starting a new adventure for the team, so a great kind of jumping on point. But man, is it great.
All right, now it's time for Red Tornado Watch. There is no Red Tornado in this week's comics, although downstairs today I did try to help. There was a little boy and his mom, and all they wanted to do was find Red Tornado from Brave and the Bold. They wanted or from Justice League Unlimited, they wanted a Red Tornado action figure, and the little boy asked what Red Tornado's powers were. He just likes the way he looks. And I got to explain everything about Red Tornado to the kid who was like, he's a robot? So for me, that was a Christmas gift for me. That was really cool. All right, pal.
Good week again. Good week again in comics.
Week.
As you can tell, it's gotten darker in here. I mean, we've been here for a while. The sun's setting. This isn't usually where or when we do these reviews.
Okay, so I'm pulling these out because I think you say, and this is one, right?
Yeah. So every week we pick 6 for our best of the week, our pull list. This week, I think we have a couple honorable mentions.
We might have a lot of honorable mentions this week. Okay, so I think those are. Is that 6?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then I've got the 2
Right.
honorables. Okay, so we actually agree on our 6 this week.
The Flash, number 4. Even though Flash isn't in this book quite a bit, still pick it up because it's a great, great story.
So much fun. So much fun. The supporting cast gets a real big shot in this.
Aquaman, number 4. The kind of end to the Trench story. There's going to be more to it.
Those bees are angry. They're coming back. They're
great.
even angrier now.
All-Star Western, number 4. Is this your book of the week?
It might be.
Okay, I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay, hold on to it.
iVampire, number 4. Great book. I'm holding on to it.
Oh.
We may have a surprise this week.
Okay.
BlackHawks, number 4.
First time it's made the top picks.
First time it's made the top picks, like you said. But this is a great series.
It's really fun. It's never been terrible.
Give it a chance. Teen Titans, number 4. Great book. Give it a chance. Pick it up.
I really wish that black people were monsters in it, though.
Enjoy the books, guys. Just that's all I gotta say. Internet, stop the hate.
Once again,
rise above hate.
Rise above hate, guys. I really am sorry that the fake thing you like isn't doing what you want, but you can take solace in the fact that it's not real.
It's all made for your enjoyment.
So.
Just enjoy it. Like, there's plenty of other worse things happening in the world.
Oh my god! Yeah, like Hawk and Dove, like Grifter.
Yeah.
Like Hawkman.
And what do you have as honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions this week have to go to Justice League Dark and the Voodoo, because they're so good, but we force ourselves to pick 6.
Now, for our books of the week this week, I always pick All-Star Western. I always do. And I'm not going to pick it this week. Not that it's not the best book of the week.
No.
Just, I feel that this is a new year coming.
It's a new year. Oh, yeah. It is a New Year
And
coming.
and
I am going to pick All-Star
Okay.
Western because I loved it, and then The Barbary Ghost blew my mind. So I liked everything about this book. Go pick it up.
and I'm actually going to put iVampire.
What
number
is
4.
happening?
I know, crazy.
I love it.
Go with a bang. iVampire number 4 solidified this series for me. John Constantine in this book, I think, was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, stake in the heart. He's amazing in this book.
You're not wrong, man. That's such
This
a
is
good
a
book.
great book. Pick it up.
Now, I was talking to Andrew before we started recording about what our New Year's resolutions might be.
Yes.
By the way, end of 2011. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
See you next week in the new year. But I was talking about New Year's resolutions. What is your let's say for the sake of the show here, what is your New Year's resolution? What are you resolved to do? And I'm not saying personally, just think about the show and in general. This little thing we shoot.
I think with the new year, with the new creative team, I'm going to go at the Superman comics, looking at it from a completely objective route again. I really tried that in the first books, and I got dragged down into what I loved about the previous incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the new year, I'm going to go back and objectively look at Superman, and then slowly have my subjectiveness come in and take over and hate it again.
Okay. What I thought for my own New Year's resolution was that I would go back and reread all of the titles that we don't like. And I would try to find positive things in those books that we don't like. Because in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, and again, if we disagree, I'm stupid and wrong, there's too much negativity on the internet because you can say whatever you want from the safety of your side of the screen. And I think that's total garbage, and it's okay to have a positive opinion about something. And so the stuff I'm not liking about the DC New, I'm going to reread and find something positive to say about those things.
That's good. That's a much better resolution than mine.
No, yours is the same thing, only you're focusing it on one
Right.
part of it. I'm going to go back and read all those titles that I don't like. You're going to go, but you're going to try and give Superman a fair shake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and give these books a fair shake. It's all about being positive in the new year, guys.
Love, guys.
2012, man, it adds up 2012, adds up to 5. I don't know what that means. But we're looking forward to a new year of the new 52. We're looking forward to a positive experience in the new year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, guys, and rise above hate.
Love. Just love.
Right? Did you love your threesome last week?
Loved it.
Oh, no!